Let's just take a quiet moment to talk about a feeling. A feeling that I think we all know, but maybe struggle to name. It's that constant pressure to always be doing something. In this explainer, we're going to gently explore that feeling and maybe rediscover what it means to just be. You know the moment. You're finally on the couch, maybe with a cup of tea or a book. You've decided to take a break. And then, that little voice creeps in, doesn't it? That whisper of, you really should be doing something else right now. That's what we're going to sit with today. And that feeling, it actually has a name. It's called productivity guilt. And I really want to be clear about this from the start. This is not a personal flaw. It's not a sign that you're lazy. It's a learned response, something our culture has in many ways taught us to feel. Does that sound familiar? These are the quiet, critical thoughts that often fuel that guilt. But where do they even come from? Why are they so persistent? Let's take a look. So let's unpack this. Where does all this guilt really come from? Why does it feel so wrong sometimes to just stand still?
Well, the pressure really is coming from all sides. We're surrounded by hustle culture, which tells us that our downtime is wasted time. The way our economy works often measures us by our output, not our well-being. And of course, there's social media, where it feels like everyone else's life is a constant highlight reel of achievement. For a lot of us, this goes way back to when we were kids, when maybe we learned that praise was attached to what we did, not just for who we were.
So that's all the noise from the outside. But what happens on the inside when we actually try to stop? Let's talk about that discomfort.
Yeah, why is it so hard? Even when we are completely exhausted, when our bodies and minds are begging for a break, why does being still sometimes feel like the hardest thing in the world? Because when we finally stop moving, the background noise we've created for ourselves fades away. And what's left? Us, our feelings, our thoughts. Busyness can be a way to numb ourselves, and when it's gone, we're forced to confront whatever we've been running from. And that can bring up some really big, scary questions, like, if I'm not achieving something, then who am I? But feeling this discomfort, it doesn't mean you're failing at resting. It's just a sign that you're withdrawing from that constant need for stimulation, and that's okay. Okay, let's get right to the very heart of this. Let's talk about the big lie that keeps this whole cycle of guilt going. This is it right here. The lie is that our value as a person is somehow tied to how much we produce, how much we get done. But the truth is that our worth is inherent. It's just there. It's not something you have to earn or prove. You know, being a human being isn't a key performance indicator. And believing that lie, it comes with some very real hidden costs. It's not just a little guilt. It leads to burnout, to chronic anxiety. It actually kills our creativity, and it can leave us feeling emotionally numb. The real irony here is that by relentlessly chasing productivity, we end up destroying the very things that allow us to be truly productive in a healthy, sustainable way. I just want you to read that and let it sink in for a second. You are not a machine. You are a living system. Think about it. A machine can be designed to run 24/7, but a living thing, a plant, an animal, a human being, we all need cycles. We need activity, yes, but we also fundamentally need rest. It's just how we're built. So, what do we do about this? Well, the answer isn't to fight it or to force ourselves to relax. It's about a gentle unlearning. It's about being kind to ourselves as we try to find a new way. This small shift in how we talk to ourselves can be incredibly powerful. Instead of ending the day with that critical voice saying, I did nothing today, what if you tried saying, I allowed myself to recover today? Just notice how that feels different in your body. It reframes rest from being a lack of action into a positive, necessary act of self-care. And you can start really small. Maybe try putting rest in your calendar, just like you would an important meeting. Give it that same weight. And the next time you sit down, notice your thoughts. Ask yourself this really important question. Am I actually resting right now, or am I just sitting here punishing myself for not working? And just gently try to remember, you are not your to-do list. You are so much more than what you check off. It's going to feel weird at first. That discomfort we talked about will probably show up, and that's a sign that you're rewiring something deep inside, not that you're doing it wrong. Let's end with a perspective shift, a final, quiet truth that puts all of this daily struggle into a much larger context. You know, when people look back on their lives, no one ever says, I wish I'd answered more emails, or I wish I'd worked harder. The real regrets sound a lot more like this. I regret being too tired to actually feel my life.
I regret only being truly present with my loved ones when I was already exhausted. The biggest regret is often treating rest like some kind of prize you have to earn, instead of a fundamental human right.
So if there's one thought to take away from our time together, please let it be this one. Rest is not a break from your life. It is an essential part of being alive.
And I'll just leave you with this gentle question to carry with you. Just for today, what if your only task was simply to be?